Happy Monday, everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Hopefully you guys played some good golf. Been doing this lesson thing now for like 10 weeks. Thank you to all those that have come to see me. Feel like we've helped some people. That's the goal at the end of the day. It's just to help some people. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Not here to make money. If I was here to make money, I would have taken one of these jobs in Scottsdale and have double or triple the rate. But what I'm here to do is to just try to give everybody an experience, man, that you can't get too many other places. I think I've done about 150 lessons now. See the same thing over and over. I see people that can't line up, that have a terrible grip, and that just really don't understand what they're trying to do. They watch all these YouTube videos, man, and people are in here lifting their arms and trying to fire their hips and do all that stuff. And yeah, that's good and that's great. And I'm happy you're working on the game and you think that that's the way. But what I have realized in this process of starting to give lessons is that let's just keep it simple. If you guys just got the basics better, the fundamentals stronger, your golf swing would take care of itself. But everybody's so fascinated with, oh, I want to take it way outside, and oh, I want to drop it inside so I can get the power. Let me tell you what, you're making the game harder on yourself. And first of all, you can't swing the golf club hard and properly when you're aimed 40 yards to the right, or you have a crazy weak grip or a crazy strong grip. So the fundamentals are so important, yet they're often not even a thought. And I was guilty of this. I was playing the tour and I never even thought about fundamentals. I was always, oh, I'm hitting it to the right, I must be coming underneath, let me start trying to come over the top. My problems got tougher when in reality, it was just my alignment. So all the people that have come to see me, we haven't touched too many golf swings. We've gotten the fundamentals better, and then all of a sudden their ball flight started to go a little bit better. But the main thing that I see is people come and they have an ego, and they want to hit their 7-irons 190 yards so they can say they hit their 7-irons 190 yards and they can impress their friends. Well, when you're swinging that freaking hard trying to do it, all you're doing is yanking from the top. Therefore, you're coming over the top, the face is wide open, you wonder why you hit a slice, you wonder why you hit it thin. It's because you're trying to hit it too dang hard. Tempo is such a beautiful thing. So I'm gonna hit like 354-degree wedges, and these are like full wedges for me, and I want you to see how smooth this is. When I was on tour, me and Bubba Watson went back and forth in driving distance. I also led the tour in double bogeys. So yeah, it was cool to hit it far, but it wasn't very cool for my scorecard. I went home on Friday nights a lot. I didn't get to play the weekends. I was out at Ping about a couple months ago. When I was playing on tour, I swung at 125. I now swing at 108 to 110 with my driver. But I hit 12 or 13 fairways. I never get in trouble off the tee. I hit 15 to 17 greens, and I'm a mental midget when it comes to putting, so I now literally putt one-handed. Yes, I do. I know it sounds crazy. I've never putted this good in my life. I've played about 15 rounds, whether the local US Open qualifier or gambling for money. It's worked under the pressure. I've never seen so many putts go in from 10, 15, 20 feet. But for me, it really frees me up. Instead of not trying to 3-putt, I'm trying to make it. But let me just get back to, let me just hit a couple wedges and you can see my tempo versus when you watch the majority of your buddies or even yourself on video. So this is a 54-degree. Don't worry, I'm gonna get a microphone eventually, but here we go, 354s. The tempo is just so smooth that even on the off days, I can still get the golf ball in the hole because I'm not swinging so hard that the ball is going in the desert, in the water. I'm not searching for balls amongst the snakes. yes, it might not go as far. It might not look as glamorous. A lot of my buddies say, you're so boring to play golf with. You just hit the fairway and you hit the green, and it's whether or not you make a bunch of putts. You're right, it's boring and it's not exciting, but the cool thing is I can go play golf any day of the week at any golf course in the world and know that I'm gonna be okay, because I can hit it straight. I can hit it most of the time in a general area of where I'm looking, or when your tempo is slower, your dispersion pattern becomes much more narrow. So to get like that smooth tempo and to where I'm at today versus where I was at a little while ago, I made a few changes. I used to be the guy that, you know, was way above the line, way down. Look at this. I'm just using my arms, which is what most people do when they come and see me. So what I did is I was right here, and I was picking it way up, and then you're either Justin Thomason it doing this, where you're hitting the big block or you're hitting a duck hook. Not to say he does, he does, but I'm just making a point. But what I have found is that if I can use my whole body and the mass of my body to hit the golf ball, I can swing a lot easier. The ball's gonna go just as far because I have a serious amount of mass now making it, and with the better tempo, I'm hitting it with a square club face, so therefore I'm compressing it versus an open or a closed club face where I'm hitting a glancing blow. I know that every time I'm gonna hit the center of the club face. I might not always hit it exactly like I want to, but the cool thing is I can find my ball and play it from where it is, or maybe it's not 10 feet, maybe it's 30 feet, but it's not in these greenside bunkers, and it's not way off in any trouble because my tempo is so good. And the reason your tempo is so important, because as we know, golf is a game of timing. People say, oh, I can do it on the driving range, but I can't do it on the golf course. I can hit it good on the driving range, and then I go to the golf course and I duck hook my first one. Well, do you think you lost your golf swing between the driving range and the first tee and the 40-yard walk? I don't think so. What I think is you lost your tempo. You were swinging it smooth on the range. There's no consequences for a bad shot. And then you go to the golf course. You're staring at a lake. You want to impress your buddies. You may not feel like you're swinging harder, but subconsciously you're a little jazzed up, therefore your timing's faster. That is why you're mishitting the golf ball when 10 minutes prior you were striping it on the driving range. So you really have to trick your mind, and there's really cool ways to do that. I've shared that with a bunch of the people that have come and got the lessons. But in my personal game, what has made a huge difference for me is, like I said, I used to lift it with my arms, try to be above the line, do all that. All I have done is, from my weight being 50-50, I have slightly pushed my weight forward. Now, some of you guys are gonna be like, oh, that's stack and tilt, that's wrong, that's what it is. That's fine. You can call me wrong. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. There's a million different ways to swing a club. There's a million golf instructors out there that can teach you different things, different ways. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, there's a million golf instructors out there that know way more about the golf swing than I do. But what I know how to do is I know how to get the ball in the hole with hardly any practice compared to what I used to, because my tempo's good and my fundamentals are solid. A lot less practice because I don't need all that timing. I used to not be able to take 24 hours off from the game because I feel like I lose my swing. Now I don't play for 5, 7, 9 days, and I feel like I can go out and shoot 65 because my tempo is always there. Therefore, I'm always going to be hitting it pretty solid, pretty straight. But we've got to set this ego thing aside. If you want to hit long balls, man, do it. But don't expect your score to drop, because the majority of you don't have the time, the energy to put in the amount of hours, thousands of hours it takes to make a huge swing change or to get that timing that you need. So where I feel my little niche is hey, we can get the fundamentals a little bit better, and we can hit the golf ball with our body and be smoother instead of chopping at it with our arms and pulling it so damn hard. We just use this big mass just to turn it back, turn it through. I smashed my cart tire. that is where you're gonna make a big difference, man. It's the little things time and time again that change the game. Like I said, you guys don't have the time. You watch a YouTube video, you go out to the range, you make 4 swings, it doesn't go perfect, and then you ditch it. So you're always searching. Therefore, how can you ever get in a nice rhythm, or how can you ever become consistent when you're always searching, always hoping? So focus a little bit more on the fundamentals, a little bit less on the golf swing. Our brain is so smart that if we set up and have the fundamentals strong, the golf swing will naturally fall into a better place than it currently is. Now, I'm not saying it's going to take care of all your problems, but I'm going to say it's going to make the game a lot more enjoyable and a lot easier. When somebody comes to me on a Wednesday, I want them to play better on a Saturday and Sundays with their buddies without any practice on Thursday or Friday. Like, I'm not trying to make any huge swing changes. Got to take it out here, got to drop it in there, got to have your weight here. It is what it is. But for what I have noticed, if I put that weight slightly forward, all I got to do is turn back and turn back through. Like, it's that easy. I'm not trying to lift my arms up or, you know, and as you can see, even people say, oh, you know, you might take it too far inside. If I put my weight a little bit forward and I take it back, you can see my club is still outside of my hands. I'm not trying to make you sling it inside, but if you can use your whole body and you use it to hit the golf ball, not only will you it will go further because you're hitting it more solid, it'll be more consistent, it will require way less timing, and you'll spend a lot more time in the green grass instead of the brown desert. Hope everybody has a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.